Hello! Man, this book, this issue of House of Slaughter has such a great cover. This is absolutely freaking fantastic. The lighting on it, spectacular. Like that blue is not the sunlight. Like that's the book. This lighting is great. Use of color is great. It's so cold. Unfortunately, the stuff that's inside the book is a lot of Jace posturing to Maven, the old wise woman kind of figure, about how he's going to kill everybody. She's like, revenge is bad, right? It's going to poison your soul and you'll become just what they want to make you. And he's like, I don't care. I'm going to kill them all. Because of course he is. Of course this is all going to be tragic. It's going to end in tragedy. I mean, it's like watching Cyberpunk 2077 and by the end of the second episode, you realize everybody's going to die. And nobody is going to get out of it in one piece. I took my glasses off. I face palmed. You couldn't hear the face palm probably, but I did. Oh boy, it's just like we're going through like a well, maybe not like a classic Greek tragedy, but it's like it's a Greek tragedy, man. Just bad stuff happening. Most people involved are bad people, so that kind of takes some of the sting off. But this book, this whole issue, is the kind of stuff I'm not really into. Remember when I was talking about issue 21 and I'm like, I don't really care about the internal politics of this house of people who are supposed to hunt monsters? I would like to see them hunt monsters. You remember that, right? You remember. Well, 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 they ain't any monsters in this book. They ain't any hunting in this book. There's just a lot of people jockeying for political position, arguing, and that kind of stuff. And it was okay. There's some interesting bits. I like when the House of Slaughter's dragon is going off on everybody in the House of Bushair. Like, I liked this. This was kind of interesting. But it's all in service to this weird House of whatever political agenda stuff. And I don't really care. Maybe the highlight of this material, right here, 2 pages previous to what I was showing, where the Order of St. George headquarters is calling, being like, what are you knuckleheads doing? Why haven't you fixed this already? It's just one guy. Of course, we say something like that, I immediately think, the much better media that doesn't dwell on this kind of stuff for more than a couple of minutes. Like, oh, John Wick, he's just one man! And then he's killed somebody with a pencil, right? Like, give me a little something to work with, a little something to sink my teeth into, because we had a slow intro chapter. We had some cool stuff. There wasn't a lot of like violent action or anything, but it was really cool what went down. And now we're just in this lull in between. This seems to be like the cadence for a lot of these books. House of Slaughter, somebody's killing the children. You get like a slow, something happens, a slow, something happens, a slow, something happens. Back and forth cadence like that. And honestly, it just makes me wish for some older comics, and this is not an example of one of them in terms of like what I'm talking about. This is just like the first older book I had handy. But it kind of makes me think about older comics where you'd have like some decompression, some people hanging out, and then you'd have something happen, and it would be something interesting, and it'd be something like, whoa, there'd be a fight, or there'd be a confrontation that had meaning to the character, to the main character of the story, and not like, I don't know, you wouldn't. The highlight of a Spider-Man book is not going to be like J. Jonah Jameson arguing with another editor about the newspaper, right? And that's kind of what I feel like a lot of the material in these books is that kind of level stuff. Like, I don't care. I want to see what Jace Boucher's up to. I want to watch him shank somebody. She also has a great bit. It's all the way like back at the end of the book, but she's having a bad day. In fact, a fight does break out with Jace and somebody else, and it's the end of the book. Basically, we don't get to see it, but she is totally cracking up, man. Apparently, that's her dad or something. I don't know, but she's nutso, and I like that little bit of her being nutso. But I really wish there was something in the book that kind of paid off for this picture, her with a sickle, because it's a great cover, and it feels totally unwarranted here. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. You have a great one. Hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye bye.